guys, hope you're all doing well. I'm back in the shop. Last time you saw me was November 2023, right around Thanksgiving. I was on a trip and I'd just done a rig walk around of my 2012 Tacoma in its current state as a lightweight adventure truck that lets me go camping, climbing, and will haul my dirt bike around. And there it sits in exactly the same state. It's been the most reliable vehicle I've ever owned to this day, and I daily drive it. It's just a freaking great truck. And while I love it as is, I mentioned that I had intentions of building the truck up into a lightweight or moderate weight wheeling rig. And that's because I used to wheel the thing a little more than I do now. It used to be my Class 4 rig, and it did a great job. I kind of missed the Class 4 stuff ever since I sold the 99, so it's time for the 2012 to step up to the plate again. And I hope you guys are excited to see me build it up a little bit, especially those of you who miss Big Red. But anyway, first step in building it back up is to armor it up a little bit and make sure that I can get a winch on the truck, because when you're wheeling Class 4s, it's a great idea to have a winch, because you never know what you're going to run into, and it really sucks to get stuck miles into the woods and have to hike out. So I want a winch bumper that gives me a little more protection and lets me run a winch. But I daily drive the truck, so I didn't want some huge, heavy steel plate bumper or tube bumper on the front of the truck. It just doesn't make sense for me and what I use the truck for every single day. So I was looking for a hybrid front bumper, a slim front bumper, just winch mount that kind of replaces that plastic center section on the truck. And while a bunch of companies make something like that, I didn't really find one I loved right off the bat. And so I thought, yeah, maybe I could go for one of those weld-it-yourself kits. And the company I know that does that the best is Coastal Offroad. And so I reached out to them. I was like, hey, I'm looking for a bumper, slim, hybrid winch mount front bumper for the second generation Tacoma. I have a YouTube channel, and they were very generous and sent me this bumper that I have sitting right in front of me and wrapped up in cardboard and saran wrap. I haven't even taken it out of the wrapping. I'm just really stoked. Thank you, Coastal Offroad, for sending this to me. The deal is, I'm gonna do an install video for you guys from start to finish. I'm going to unbox it on camera, show you what you get, show you the instructions, and show you my process from the very start to the very end. I'm going to fit it up, tack it, weld it together, paint it, install the winch, install lighting, and I'm gonna follow Coastal Offroad's instruction from start to finish unless I have a really good reason not to, and I will tell you guys explicitly if I go off the beaten path at all and why I did it. But I think their guidance is going to get me through. So I'm really stoked. Thanks once again, Coastal Offroad. Let's get this thing unwrapped. Let's see what they sent me. Let's get into it. All right, I hope you guys have a good angle here. It basically comes in two containers. I'm just going to take an X-Acto knife to this top one. Wow. I don't know if they laser this, or water jetted or what, but it looks really clean. Oh, nice. Okay. It's just the big bent piece that will have the winch fair lead on it. It looks like, I don't know what that is yet. We'll wait for the instructions. Yeah, these CNC cuts are amazing. I think that is a space for the tow hook. Potential winch mounting locations. You know what? Let's get more unwrapped before I take guesses. All right, here's box number 2. Package number 2, I should say. All right, what do we got? Okay, so I ordered the tube hoop that goes on the front of the bumper because I think tube work looks really cool. So this is their bent piece. Looks good. See how it fits. And then it looks just like more plate, another one of these potentially internal pieces. All right, and some more lasered or water jet pieces. Looks really clean. I'm sure I will learn what all these pieces are for momentarily. Let's find the instructions. Maybe in this envelope. Yep. Got a nice packet here. So we have an intro, we have a table of contents, we have a bomb. This is nice. Oh, a cool 3D CAD diagram of how all the pieces fit together. There's your layout. And then I imagine steps 1 through whatever. Yep, you got prep. Yeah. Looks like you got it all, guys. I'm gonna lay these pieces out and give you a better look, and then we're gonna dig in. So this is the 2D representation of all the components you get in the instructions, and I have replicated it here by laying all the parts out on the floor in the same order. I think that's right. One thing I noticed is that parts 5, 6, and 7 seem to be combined into this single bent sheet metal piece, which is awesome because bent sheet metal is a way cleaner final look, and it alleviates a lot of welding, and it'll be stronger. So good job, Coastal Offroad. And also not shown is the hoop, because that's an optional piece that I requested. I will show you guys how I install it anyway. But yeah, it looks like this is going to be pretty straightforward. I hope I don't eat my words, but seems like Coastal Offroad makes it easy for you. First thing I'm going to do is get the end fab light mount off of here because it has seen better days. It's really rotted out, and frankly it was probably junk when it was new. And then I'll get the light bar off as well, and then from there we'll start disassembling per the instructions. So let's get going, guys. Boom. Honestly, it's been a really long time since I've seen this truck without the light bar on the front, and kind of like it. I'm psyched to have the cleaner look of this bumper, but unfortunately I got to get out of here for tonight. We will return when there's a little more light, and I will continue this install. All right, check it out, guys. We're back. Got a fresh new haircut. I was looking a little shaggy, but now I'm presentable. And I am ready to dig into this bumper build. So first thing I need to do is get the front of the truck stripped down. I'm going to get the bumper cover off. I think I need to get the grill off to do that. I'm not going to give you guys a super detailed look at doing that because there's plenty of other videos showcasing how to get that done. I'll link one in the description. How about that? But that's step 1. Hopefully I can get this thing off pretty quick and we can start mocking up the bumper and tacking it together. Alright, here's the factory bumper. I have to remove these 14mm nuts. There's 3 of them on each side. And these are the end fab light bar brackets that also need to come off. So let's get that off of here, and then we can actually start mocking up the Coastal Offroad bumper. Oh, that was easy. Yeah, money. At long last, we're ready to start fabricating this bumper. So I have both mounting plates cleaned up, and first step is to mount this plate, which is the number 1 plate, to the bumper interface on the frame. So I'm going to do that real quick, make sure it's level, and we'll go from there. Perfect. Alright, next step is I'm going to take these, which are the number 2 plates, these little triangular ones. I'm going to bevel this long edge because what they're going to do is they're going to sit on the inside edge of each of these plates, which are the number 3 plates. And the number 3 plates will protrude outward from the bumper, and these stacked plates, the number 2 plates, will act as shackle reinforcements, and also will give me an edge to kind of butt up against when I set the winch plate down in there. So bevel it. Let's do it. Alright, so I've got my long edge beveled here, and I'm going to set my number 2 plate on my number 3 plate. I'm going to line up those edges. Now I'm going to tack this thing in here. Okay, now we're going to weld these number 2 and number 3 plate assemblies onto plate number 1, and they have these awesome little slots cut into plate number 1, so you can just kind of slip it in there. What I find tremendously helpful to have in these situations is a nice 90-degree magnet clamp. So here. Beautiful. Cool. Okay, now that we have both of these 2, 3 plate assemblies welded on to plate number 1, we can slide plate number 4 in, which is the horizontal winch mount plate, I believe. And it'll sit right on that little shelf you've created with the welding of plates number 2 to the inside face of plate number 3. So it should just sit there. Looks like these are bowed out a little. That's probably just because of my tacking. So what I'll do is I'm just going to hold it in like that when I weld it. They don't mention in the instructions which direction this whole pattern should face, like if it should be farther forward or backward. Because there are these slots here, which I assume are for fog lights, I'm going to guess and say that this whole pattern should be farther back. I think that's right. So let's tack it in. Now for pieces 8 and 9, these guys, you want to remove, see if you can see it, this bolt right here, and then I believe the tow hook on this side, these 3 bolts. So I'm going to get a breaker bar on those, get them off of there. Okay, so I got plates 8 and 9 bolted on there, butted right up against plate number 1. I think they look pretty good, so I'm going to tack them on there. Now it is time to get this big faceplate on here. Let's see how it fits. Alright, I discovered that I think I can just hold it on there. It's not going to be the prettiest thing, but I don't think I need to clamp it. So I'm quite happy with the bumper, just like this. I have it all tacked together, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to test fit my winch and make sure everything looks good before I final weld it. And then I'm going to put some nice looking beads on this thing, and I'll get the hoop on as well and the lights. But I'm really happy with how quickly this thing went together. So far so good, really nice kit for sure. Alright, let's get this off of here. Awesome. I brought in a winch that I've had sitting in a box for many years. It might need a new solenoid. It's, I don't know, got unknown issues, but I might run it on this truck, and at the very least I can use it to mock up how the winch is going to look in here. And this is a 13,000 pound winch, and it just barely fits. I don't know that it'll fit under the bumper, but that's kind of what I want to find out, if I need something smaller or if this is going to work. So what I'm going to do, after seeing that this looks pretty good, I'm going to pretty much final weld the bumper, throw it on the truck, see how this thing fits in there, and go from there. Alright, spent most of the night welding, but it's a new day and I'm back and it's time to clean it up. Basically, I'm pretty happy with the beads that I have, but some of these pieces need to be just blended in, like right there, because that's just weld on flat, not great. But should be plenty strong for any winching I do off it. And I've stitched it enough so that it's really far together, but I don't need to continuous weld everything and warp it. So happy with where we are at. And now it's angle grinder time. think I got things blended in the way I want, but I left as many beads as I can because generally you don't want to grind weld beads if you don't have to, and most of them look pretty good. So I think we're good to go. I'm gonna test fit it on the truck. Okay, I got this thing mounted on here, at least mocked up, and it looks super good. So what they don't mention in the instructions though is that I got this center section off the bumper, and there's still a plastic piece right in the middle, so I think this is gonna need to get trimmed. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do it. I think I'm just gonna measure the width of the bumper and kind of create some cutout lines here and just, I don't know, clip it or use an angle grinder or something. Shouldn't be hard. This is just really thin plastic. I just want to make sure I get the measurements pretty close so I don't have a ton of dead space that looks sloppy. But let me try. Let me see how I do here, and we'll fit it up. So I got this mocked up on here and it looks super good, honestly. Got pretty close without too much measuring. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. Plenty of room under there for a winch. But I'm gonna get this light bar on here. I just notched it so I can, hopefully you guys can see this, and set it up there and lean it forward, I don't know, 10, 20 degrees. So it kind of sits out like that, because I got some big lights I want to hang off it. So I'm going to tack that on there, and then I'm going to take the whole thing off and final weld it. Check this out, guys. Looks so good, and the lights are going to sit like that. Obviously one on each side, but I kind of love that. I think that's all I got to do here, guys. I'm going to finish bolting this thing up and just carry it home on the truck, and I will probably paint it tomorrow if the weather's good. I'll show you what paint I'll be using, but yeah, I'm stoked. So I have the bumper sitting out in my driveway, all wire brushed and ready to paint, and I wanted to show you guys what paint I'm going to be using this time around, and I'm going for the Seymour MRO Maintenance, Repair, and Operation Enamel Gloss Black. And I'm usually a Rust-Oleum guy. I really like Rust-Oleum products, even though they're cheap, they lay on super easy. But I wanted to try this stuff this time around because my buddy, who restores dirt bikes and is super detail-oriented, has painted engines with this stuff and frames, and I just really love the finish. I was checking it out the other day, and it just looks super good. So I want to try this. We'll see how it goes. I've got some primer. I've got a couple cans of this gloss black, and yeah, I'm hoping it turns out really nice. Let's go, guys. Let's get this painted. Ladies and gentlemen, I have brought you to one of my favorite local spots to showcase the fruits of my labor, the final result of the Coastal Offroad slim, stealthy, hybrid center section bumper build. It could be called so many things, but check this thing out, guys. It looks really good. It's got it all painted up. I've actually been running it for a little bit, so it's pretty dirty. I've gotten a few rainstorms, but you can see that gloss black looks really nice. It's super tough once cured. I'm really happy with that paint. And I've got my ox beam LEDs on here. They're also super bright, and they don't look too bad. The jury's out on them a little bit. This is the first time running these, but I'll keep them for a while, see how I like them. And I got my 13,000 pound budget X-Bull winch in there. I have it wired up to a remote solenoid in there that has a little wireless remote control. I actually have this, you can't see it, but I have the solenoid mag mounted so I can move it around. It makes this whole thing fit in there really nicely. Lots of clearance. I can get to the engage/disengage lever quite easily. I can spool this thing out. I've got brand new synthetic line on there. And I just did a test with this winch. Nothing crazy, but I'll clip it in here and show you guys. Yeah, the winch is slower than death, but it sounds strong. I definitely need a new battery because it pulls that voltage down big time. I can hear it bog and I gotta rev it up, but it works great. Got brand new roller fairlead on here too. And it doesn't look like the bumper flexes at all under load. I am stoked, guys. Now, despite the fact that I got given this bumper, I want to review it honestly, and frankly, guys, it's a really good kit. I like it a lot. The instructions are definitely sufficient, but they're not over the top. They missed cutting this center section out. At least I couldn't find anything about trimming the plastic. But I mean, that's pretty obvious that how to do that. Yeah, I don't know. Getting the winch on there was a little bit of a trick too. You gotta fish some bolts through some holes. But overall, it's a really easy kit to put together if you have any fabrication experience at all. And if you don't, it's a great first welding project. It's very easy. And frankly, you don't have to weld it all that nicely to have it be very, very strong and functional. And as far as the fitment on the truck, it bolts right up to all the stock locations, and it's really easy to assemble. I love the kind of self-aligning features of it. Yeah, I think it's a great bumper, guys, and I'm really, really happy it's on the truck. It seems super rugged, and I'm sure it will serve me well as I get this thing back into the woods. Next order of business, though, is despite the fact that this thing is quite light, I don't even know the total weight, but it's obviously much, much lighter than a full steel plate bumper or a tube bumper. It's still, it's caused my front end to sag a little bit. I have the softest OME shock or coils on here. I'll caption those because I don't remember what they are. So I have the next set of coils, stiffer set of coils in a box. I'm gonna get those put on. And I've got some new upper control arms, some JBAs that are going to go on there as well. And then maybe we'll deal with tires. But I think it looks great, guys. What do you think? Gives that truck a mean look for sure. Anyway, guys, that's it for this one. I really hope you enjoyed the build. Give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe if you liked it, because this truck's not going away. And I've got more plans for it for sure. If you guys want to see me wheel it more, let me know. Anyway, guys, I'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. Catch you later.